A full day in the sun, and now you're in front of the mirror in panic. Shoulders red, neck raw, collar line burned into your skin. This morning you rubbed an SPF 50, highest number on the shelf. You thought you were safe. But here's something that might surprise you. SPF 30 blocks about 97% of UVB, SPF 50 to 98. Double the number, roughly 1% more. That number doesn't even come from a machine. And that system, for 30 years, was gamed by one of the largest SPF testing labs in America. This is how sunscreen is actually made, how that SPF number is measured, and why it took 25 years to add a single new ingredient. 1944. A pharmacist and Air Force pilot named Benjamin Green is stationed in the South Pacific, blistering under tropical sun. The only thing he has? Red Vet Pet. Greasy petroleum jelly made for livestock. Terrible smell, but it blocks UV. After the war, Green moves to Miami, mixes cocoa butter and coconut oil into the jelly, and tests it on his own bald head under the Florida sun. That formula becomes Coppertone. 6 years before Green, a young Austrian named Franz Greider climbs Pitzbühne in the Alps, comes down sunburned, and creates Glacier Cream. 24 years later, Greider proposes a measurement system, SPF, sun protection factor. The number on every bottle you've ever bought traces back to one sunburn on a mountain in 1938. But Coppertone in the 1950s and 1960s wasn't sold to prevent cancer. The slogan was, "Tan, don't burn." The goal was a better tan, golden skin without the redness. The Skin Cancer Foundation wasn't established until 1979, 33 years after Coppertone launched. Coppertone became the smell of summer for a generation, but that smell was tied to tanning, not protection. And the SPF number on every bottle since comes from a process almost nobody outside the industry has ever seen. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Sunscreen starts as 2 liquids in 2 separate tanks, and they don't want to mix. Tank 1 holds the oil phase, UV filters blended with emollients, heated to 70 degrees Celsius. If it's mineral, zinc oxide goes in, that white paste you see when cream hasn't fully rubbed into your skin. If it's chemical, avobenzone, the UVA absorber you can't see, but it's working underneath. Tank 2 holds the water phase, purified water, emulsifier, carbopol for thickness, same temperature, 70 degrees. If the 2 phases differ by even a few degrees, the emulsion separates. That bottle on your shelf will have oil floating on top. They meet inside a high-speed homogenizer. Shear force shatters every oil droplet into microscopic particles dispersed through the water. Particle size of the UV filter decides everything. Uneven dispersion means uneven protection. Some patches on your skin get full coverage. Others are practically bare. When the emulsion cools, fragrance goes in last. Heat would destroy it. That coconut smell, that summer scent you've tied to sunscreen since childhood, none of it comes from any UV filter. It's engineered fragrance, added after the protective formula is complete. You're not smelling sun protection. You're smelling a designed memory. Now here's the real core. SPF isn't a number from a machine. A solar simulator, a standardized UV lamp, shines onto the backs of 10 volunteers. Each patch receives exactly 2 milligrams per square centimeter. 16 to 24 hours later, a technician evaluates redness on their skin. By eye. Not a scanner, not a sensor, human eyes. They measure minimal erythema dose, the smallest UV dose that creates visible redness. SPF is the ratio between the dose that reddens protected skin and the dose that reddens bare skin. The machine generates UV. The final number depends on one person's reaction, judged by another person's eyes. 2 more tests. Broad spectrum measures whether the cream blocks UVA, the part that ages skin, passes through car windows and clouds. Pass, and the bottle reads broad spectrum. Fail, and it only fights burning, not aging. Water resistance, swim 40 or 80 minutes, then retest. The FDA banned waterproof. No sunscreen is. All of that exists for one purpose, to create a thin, even, invisible film on your skin and keep it intact. That testing system depends on human eyes, and humans can cheat. AMA Laboratories, one of the largest SPF testing labs in America, falsified results for 30 years, from 1987 to 2017. Employees entered fake volunteer numbers, tested fewer subjects than required, hid adverse reactions, all under orders from owner Gabriel Letizia Jr. He pleaded guilty. 60 months, $46.2 million in restitution. For 3 decades, sunscreens reached shelves carrying SPF numbers that were never properly tested. It wasn't just AMA. Independent lab tests on SPF 50+ products have returned values ranging from 5.5 to 62. In Australia, 18 of 20 tested sunscreens failed the standard. In the US, major brands face lawsuits over SPF claims. Denied. Cases ongoing. Here's where the story flips. You'd assume American sunscreen leads the world, but the EU has approved around 30 UV filters. The US, 16, most from the 1990s or earlier. Under a 1938 law, sunscreen in America is classified as a drug, not a cosmetic. Every new ingredient needs drug-level approval. DSM Firmenich, a Dutch company, spent 20 years and $18 million getting one filter past the FDA. Europe's used it since 2000. On June 9, 2026, the FDA announced it had added bimotrizonol to the list of permitted sunscreen active ingredients, the first new active ingredient added to the OTC sunscreen monograph since the late 1990s. Products could begin appearing after the final order takes effect, depending on manufacturers. During that gap, some Americans imported Asian and European sunscreens themselves, not from rumors, but because they felt the difference. 3 things you can change today. 1. Amount. Labs test SPF with about 1 ounce, a full shot glass for your whole body. Most people use less than half. Apply thin, and SPF 50 might protect like 15. 2. Read the label. Broad spectrum matters more than the number. SPF only measures UVB, the burn. UVA, aging, car windows, clouds, only gets blocked if those 2 words are there. 3. Reapply every 2 hours. The film breaks from sweat, water, and friction, not from time. Water-resistant only means 40 or 80 minutes. After that, reapply. Sunscreen is still the most important protection your skin has, but it only works when that film stays intact. Coppertone launched with Tan, Don't Burn. Now the Skin Cancer Foundation recommends it before every sun exposure. What changed wasn't the formula. What changed was how we understand what sunlight does to skin. You don't burn because sunscreen failed. You burn because that invisible film has 3 breakpoints: how much you apply, how it's measured, and what's inside it. And now you know all 3. Next summer, when you squeeze that cream into your palm before stepping into the sun, you'll know what that film actually needs to protect you. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.